Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol and I will be your host today. Hey, Henny. So, yeah, I'm a little irritated today. When people don't do what they need to do to have, themselves taken care of, and they're constantly in a crisis and they're blowing up someone's husband's phone because they're in crisis and nobody is to blame but themselves. And then we have someone here that has been trying. They've been trying to get it together for a long time to get this stock trailer put together that my husband has an idea for. He's here. Okay, he's here. My husband is not, because he was fooling with somebody who wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And yeah, that's irritating. You know, this person doesn't blow up my phone because I've already stated my boundaries pretty much. Um, and she knows that that's a little harder for my husband to do. He is a nice person. Those of you who have met him know this. He's a very nice person and he cares about people. He cares about people that we've known for years and years and years, as he should. But there comes a point when it's the same old drama over and over and over. Hey, Ben, bang on the drum turner. At what point do you let them have to figure it out without relying on somebody else and being able to blow up their phone? That's the hard question. So that's where I'm at. How's everybody else doing? Oh, my Lanta. How's everybody doing? Ben and Henny, and hi, everybody that's here. We had a wow meeting yesterday, didn't we? And I just pretty crappy, frankly. What did you say, Carol? How are you doing? I missed it. it's, it's just I'm just irritated. And Henny is just wallowing in self-pity. Hi, plant freak. Well, talk to me about it.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah. Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
know. I don't know if I can hear you. I wonder if I need headphones. Let me try this. Try it now.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I said, how are you?
I'm okay.
Good. I kind of heard what you were
Yeah,
talking about.
our saga with our friend that,
Yeah.
and our former neighbor and my
Hmm.
husband have been trying to get together for months to put together this stock trailer idea that my husband's had. We
Hmm.
actually borrowed the idea from my cousin in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And but so the person's here after all these months of, hey, pup groomer, and Steve is not, because he answered somebody blowing up their phone 20
Oh,
times. They know better than to blow up my phone 20 times, because I won't bail them out of their mess.
right.
They make a mess and they want everybody else to bail them out, and I'm irritated today by that.
Yeah.
But Steve is a nice person.
Yeah. Well, and it's difficult when you're in that situation because
Yeah.
you kind of find yourself in the middle of something that you didn't really cause,
Yeah.
and you're suffering the consequences, and you kind of just are like, why you
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
It's
there was no reason for this drama that happened.
yeah.
She was in a safe spot, and, you know, it's just, I can't see a good reason for what, but it's the same thing that happens time and time and time
Mhm,
again, and it's nobody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault to their eye in their eyes, but it's
mhm,
nobody else's fault,
mhm.
you know?
Right.
And
And that's tricky because they're not like taking accountability for their own actions. They're choosing to not see how things are going with them and the drama and chaos that they're causing. And
yeah,
it's a tough place to be. And it kind of is a little entitled, you know? I mean, like
yeah,
you need to drop what you're doing to come, help me. And,
yeah. And
you know,
there it shouldn't be necessary. Like I said, she had a place to stay, and
yeah.
and I know the person she was staying that was providing that place to stay, and I know that he's not the monster,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know. She makes
Right.
people monsters in her little mind, and
Mhm.
then is the martyr and the victim, and it's just I'm hoping my husband is over it after this,
Yeah.
because this person, their time's valuable,
Mhm.
and they came a long way to help him.
Mhm. Does he know that he's missing out on that?
Yeah.
Mm. So did the neighbor go back home then? Because
No,
he
no, he's doing what he can do on the project.
yeah. Well, and I was thinking about this, you know, um, everything has a cost to it, right? Like there's something that it costs us. It can be, and I'm not talking financial costs. Like I was kind of running this over in my mind. So
Yeah.
take Michael's Corvette, right? He's always wanted this Corvette, so he finally got to the point where he could get it. And you have the financial cost of having a Corvette, which is, gas and insurance and car payment. And let's say that that's $1,500 a month for
Woo,
all of it. And I'm just
that's
making something up.
rent.
Yeah, it can be everybody's bill. But let's say that's the cost. And that covers your gas and your insurance and your car payment, right? And you're like, yeah, no problem. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But there's a bigger cost to the car. And the cost to the car is you're home twice a year for 8 to 15 days. You miss Christmas and Thanksgiving, holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. You spend more time away from your home than you do at your home. So even though you can afford the $1,500, it's really got a hefty price tag to that car,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
you can look at that with anything. You can look at it with addictive behavior, compulsive
yeah,
behavior. You can look at
yeah.
it with any of that.
There's
It's
always a cost.
and it's always, and I think we look at the monetary cost of it or the like, but we don't see what it's really costing us. Like the cost to Steve is that this person
Who is not in an addictive situation.
right, right, whose time is very valuable, who you guys have been trying to get in touch with forever, finally is able to come here. And now, he's here kind of going it alone. And the price that got paid was giving into a situation that
He can't
maybe,
help. He cannot help.
yeah,
He can't
yeah,
help the situation.
yeah, exactly. And and I think when we look at life, I know I have to look at my life that way sometimes, is
Mhm.
the cost of it. Like, what is this costing me? And not the money. Money is, I'm gonna say this, no, it's not gonna sound right, but I know money is easy to make. You can go get a job as long as you're able to work and not disabled, whatever. Like you can work 3 jobs if you have to figure it out. But there's another cost that is so much bigger. And I'm not downplaying money. Like, that's a big deal. It
Yeah.
costs a lot of money to live. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But in some ways, that's the easy part of it. And it's the other side of it that you don't look at. And I think that happens a lot, with us. We're looking at one cost, and we really should, consider the larger cost of it, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and what is it really worth? It's kind of like, with your friend and with people in my life that I've seen. It's like you're watching them stand on a train track, and the train is just barreling toward them, and your choice is, try to pull them off the train track, but you get ran over,
Yep.
or let them stand there and see what happens.
Oh,
And sometimes that's really how life feels. And
yeah.
it's very real, and it's
Yeah.
very difficult
Yeah.
because,
My husband can't stand to see anybody standing on a train track,
right, right. Well, and I
you
mean, but
know?
really, who can? And like,
Yeah.
the point where
I
you
mean, I
get,
can't either, but I mean, when I know that they keep getting themselves on the same train
yes,
track day
yes,
after day after day,
yeah.
I just it's tough.
It is tough, and it's such a tough place. I find myself sometimes in the middle of situations that I didn't even create. I'm like, I literally didn't do this,
Yeah.
but here I am. And because of the relationship, you really do get stuck,
Yeah.
and it really does have a cost that, you know, I don't want to pay,
Yeah.
but I have to. Oh, CK.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, so the whole vet thing, Michael and I kind of fought over that a little bit, because when I tell you $1,500 a month, I'm not making that amount up between car payment, insurance, and the gas for that thing. That's what it
Ooh.
cost for that car, just that car, the one car. And it is hard. It it really is hard, because then you kind of look at it and you're like, that is a steep price. I hope you enjoy it. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm so glad he has the car. He works very hard. He's earned it, whatever. But it is it really is a hard thing, because I know that Michael didn't look at the cost of the car the way that I look at the cost of the car.
Yeah, yeah. Big
That's what
ticket
makes it
items.
hard.
Big ticket items often like that often have a cost other than monetary that
Yeah.
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 they take a toll
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and I mean, he wanted it for so long, and he worked hard and saved the down payment and everything. Like, so I mean, like, it just is, it's one of those things. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes it's those little things that just add up to the point where you're like, and then it kind of makes you feel bad, right? Because you're like, should I really be this upset over this? And yeah, maybe you should sometimes, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, I have to go get my phone cord, so I will be right back here in just a second. Um, but CK, I feel your
Yeah.
I feel your pain. I
Yeah.
mean, I
Uh,
understand, and then there's just, and then, like, Michael named his Molly because it's red after Molly Ringwald, and I'm like, oh, well, do you need a moment with Molly? I mean, of course, I get really hobbity about it, and I'm like, do I need to leave you and Molly alone? Now, like,
Supposed to do no
come on
recycle,
now,
no
but
aspirin. The call
you,
came and then the Tim neighbor showed up, so I still got to be me.
he always dreamy Daryl Hannah would come. He's always dreaming Daryl Hannah would come with it. Oh well, she's not a mermaid anymore. Oh Oh golly. Oh.
Um,
Oh.
Yeah, that's the cost sometimes, and you can see that cost with a lot of things, not just with buying things, but
Yeah.
sometimes taking a really good position, which you think will give you so much more money. Oh, this will be great. I'll gain so much more status, as the English say it. Um, I'll have money to do this and that. And yeah, a lot of good it does you if it puts you in a hospital. You
Right.
know, it makes you go gray early, and it freaking turns you into a nervous wreck. Um, yeah, then there's always a health toll to that kind of thing.
Always.
Yeah, and
Always. You know,
I
they really do, you know, take blood from you.
yeah,
You know, when there's a lot of money at stake, they're gonna get their blood. They're gonna draw their blood.
and a lot of times my last my last position before this, I've been here quite a while, but my last position was working in defense contracting, and I didn't have a problem with what I was doing. There was nothing whiz bang about it. Um, there were minor uh, things that were a pain about it, but it was good money and all that. But the thing that just the constant, I mean, it was all a bunch of small stuff that came with it. But yeah, it was just that constant gnawing at you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was great at 35, you know, and that you should never have that. And then the big, for me, the big cost was they were doing things that not flat out illegal, but stuff where it's
Shady.
well, yeah. I they billed a hell of a lot of money for my time doing what I worked with networking and image
Mhm.
analysis and all this stuff. Okay, fine. They billed a hell of a lot of time for me, and what would happen was we were told, no, you don't get overtime. The first 4 hours you work overtime are free. We don't charge the military. I thought that's kind of weird. And then you
Yeah.
get paid normal time. Come to find out from the contractor, because we had a budget on certain projects. It's only so much. Okay. And I just went ahead. What the hell? You know, I'll show them how much I appreciate it. I started putting extra time, and I put it on my time card because it's like we don't get paid for it. They're not paying
Mhm.
for it. And my military boss, or the guy, government boss, the project lead, he said, "No, we're paying double time for you." And it's like we don't get double time. Like, oh yes, you do. And I, oh my gosh. And then there was
Wow.
a CID investigation that it was. It didn't involve me so much as just luck of the draw. They needed
Mhm.
a boss. They needed a position to stick this person in who was girlfriends with the head of the place we worked at. She wasn't qualified, so they made up this nice little resume for her. And CID came knocking at my door, and finally it's like, I've had enough of this. And you know, I went ahead and I did the investigation. You know, I cooperated with CID, even though it was kind of an unsaid thing. No, don't, no, just don't tell them anything. Like, no, I'm not going to Leavenworth. You know, I'm granted.
You got no dog in that fight.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they kept asking me these off the wall questions. What the hell are you even talking about? But that is what made up my mind for me. It's like, okay, I can put up with all the little noise, all the nagging, but it's like I'm not willing to put up with the cost of constantly violating my value system. I like to
Yeah.
pride myself on my low standards, but they didn't even meet those. And
Oh.
yeah, and
You.
ultimately it worked out. You know, that place is no longer there. Um,
Mhm.
the entire the entire project from the government standpoint was shut down. It probably didn't have
Wow.
anything to do with it, but
Mhm.
actually, the commander of the facility did go to Leavenworth, so
Oh. Oh.
it
Oh.
was
Okay.
a pretty big thing.
Oh.
Dang.
You know, not like I had any part in that. You know, it's like
Right.
I don't know anything about this person, but still, it's like, you know, that told me that what I did was morally the right thing, and
Mhm.
you know, and I know several people that make tons of money there. They Because everybody on the project got assigned to another project, and you know,
Mhm.
it's a revolving door in military subcontracting, and they all make lots of money, but it's like, yeah, I'm not willing to pay the cost to, you know, that some of them get shipped off to Abu Dhabi and places like that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not willing to pay that kind of cost for this. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no.
Right
And
Well,
on.
and then,
I make less money here, but you know, it's close to home.
Yeah.
it's, I think cost is just something people don't
Yeah,
really take into account. Like you
no,
take into, one account of what it is, but there's always something bigger,
yeah,
you know, and it's difficult. And it's difficult
yeah,
when you find yourself in a situation like you both have been in, where it's not anything you did or you can control, kind of like even where CK is. It's not anything you have any say over.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of, because of the relationships, you can't say anything, you can't do anything, your hands are kind of tied. I mean, it's a very, very difficult, and it's very difficult to, like, astrologically right now, what's going on in the world is that over the last 15 years, everything has kind of been these random things that have seemingly random things that have kind of happened. And you're like, well, that's weird. And then you get through it. And then something over here happens. And you're like, okay, well, that's weird. And then, and there's kind of really been all these things happening, but no way it's lining up or connecting. Well, what's going on now is that everything is lining up and connecting. And so this dot that was over here is now getting moved here, and this dot that was over here is getting moved here, and this one's getting moved up, and they're
Hmm.
all lining. And the energy is moving really, really slow, and we're watching it in real time happen. But it's all of this stuff from the last 15 years is now starting to right itself.
yeah.
And
Okay.
that's
I
difficult.
hope so. I really
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah, and I mean it always kind of gets a little worse before it gets better. And but it's that's where things are. So it's Pluto's moving into Aquarius if you're into the whole astrology thing of it. And it's a lot of stuff coming to light, a lot of stuff that didn't make any sense, or you were kind of like in the forest. And so it's a lot of that right now too. And so that energy in itself, just when however you see it, whether it's God, Buddha, Allah, the universe, whatever that looks like for you, whenever that divine being starts making things happen the way that they need to, it does get a little sideways. And that's kind of where we're at now. And so it's going to be a lot of times of it stuff working itself out over the next 15 years. So, this is going to be another 15-year cycle. But the last time that, Pluto moved into anything was, 2008. And well, around that time, and the banks went off the cliff. I mean, there was like a lot, the housing market
I was
crashed.
gonna say, wow, that
It wasn't
oh,
a good time. And then, and so now all of that stuff that happened has got to get right.
Mm.
And, it's all about big picture, what's going on in the world, humanity, from a human standpoint. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I think it's really easy to, when you see it, and you're watching it happen in real time, but it's slow and you know what's coming and you can see it, whether it's, with a friend or a job or a spouse or a child or a cousin. It's really difficult energy to sit in for anybody, no matter how you look. It's really, and that's just kind of where the whole world is, and especially the
yeah.
United States right now. I mean, we're in an election year.
Yeah.
It's not great. We got stuff going on with the border. I'm not getting into all of that, but there's just a lot, and then you add your personal stuff on top of it, it gets really overwhelming. And I think that's why this space is so important, is so that we can come here and say, I'm feeling this
Holy
way.
crap.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of times too, there's a lot, and I want everybody to kind of remember too, like, everybody has something going on, and there's always something going on in the background of everybody's life, and they might not always be able to talk about it or say anything about it. So just sending out love to all the situations and to everybody is such a good thing to do, because you never know.
That's
I
true.
mean, you just never know. And you might not know to look at somebody. You might look at them and be like, oh, and then if they were to sit you down and tell you, you'd be like, oh, wow, I had no idea. And I think that's where being kind and ripples in your words and,
Yeah.
really is important,
Yeah.
and picking your battles. Knowing when to throw cheese and when not to throw cheese is very important. To chuck cheese or not, that is the question.
I was wondering if you said throw cheese, but I guess you did. Okay.
So apparently Ben has not heard the chucking cheese story.
Have you not heard that story?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a good story. This was the last time Michael was home, so it was several months ago, and we were just fighting. Like, there's like, disagreement, and then kind of, fussing with each other, and then there's fighting. Like, we were full on fighting. I literally looked at this man and I'm like, get out of my house and go fix your car. Go do something, leave, get out. I don't want to see your face. Leave.
Wow.
And he just kind of kept poking, because he thinks it's funny to make me mad. And when I get all irritated and hobbity, and I don't know if that's a guy thing or if it's just a him thing, I'm not sure. But he did not stop. And we had not been to the grocery store because I go get groceries on every Thursday. And he had gotten home before then, and he said, we'll just go get groceries. So there was not really anything acceptable for him to eat in the house, because you think I'm picky. He's way more picky. So he comes out and he's like, I want a sandwich. And like, of all of the dumb things to say, like, I literally just kicked you out of my house and now you tell me you want food. And I'm like, you want food? And he's like, he's like, there's no food. And I'm like, we haven't been to the grocery store. And I mean, it was just so, he's like, I want a sandwich. So I go into the fridge and I start grabbing lunch meat, and I'm like shoving it in his chest. So like, here's ham, here's turkey, here's salami, here's, and I'm just like slamming it into his chest. Like, I'm not being nice. And I'm like, here's the bread. So he goes across the kitchen and he's standing by the stove. And he's like, what about the cheese? And I'm like, what about the cheese? And I mean, at this point, like, if you have ever seen a woman like so mad she was literally like going to unalive you, like, that is the moment where I was. I was really like, I could pull off orange. I will just run a gang in prison. I can pull off orange. It's fine. Like, no problem. So he looks at me and he goes, what are you going to do? Like, throw the cheese at me? And I'm like, yes, I am. And I buy like the real cheese. So it was like the hunks and blocks. And I'm like throwing Gouda at him and cheddar. And I'm like, here's some Gouda and here's some cheddar. And I'm like hitting him in the head and the chest and the arm. I'm like stinging him. And he told me, he goes, I'm going to tell Aunt Lil, which, is his aunt. And I'm like, go ahead, because you know what? Aunt Lil's on my side. So we go to Aunt Lil's house like the next day or two or whatever. He's like, Christy threw cheese at me. And literally everybody goes, well, what'd you do to her? So that's where the cheese comes from, because I literally did in a complete Hobbit rage, like chuck wads of cheese. I mean, like, pound things, and just like, not my most glorious moment, but it made for a funny story. And don't condone violence. I mean, I'm always like, oh, we'll throw down. Let's Hobbit rage this and that. But I mean, I guess there's worse things to do than throw cheese.
So Pup Groomer wants to brag on a client today. I've been worried about her as she's been facing some really big health challenges and has been drinking bad. She came to see me today, 6 months sober.
Wow.
That's amazing. That is so good. Oh, I know you were proud of her. Told her I was going to brag on her. Well, tell her that I have a tiara just for her.
I love it. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
It is amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm so like, what an amazing person you are to have a client and to just be like, hey, are you okay? Like, I'm concerned about you. That's got to really mean something to her, that you as a person, are stepping in and saying, what's going on here? Are you okay? And that you brag on her.
That's
Almost
amazing.
didn't recognize her when she walked in.
That is beautiful.
That's
Oh, that is so good.
amazing. That's amazing.
So
What a
good.
gorgeous story.
Yeah.
Like, and if you do a gratitude journal, I hope you write this in your gratitude journal, so that you're thankful that your client has done this. That's awesome.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're
Because
good.
my light's not on my little thing that powers my microphone. So I was just
No,
curious.
you're fine.
Okay. And I don't know why I can't.
I brought out the witch mug just in case anybody needed some hee vibes. You can pull the hee vibes off of my witch mug. It's got little bats on the inside of it, so yeah, we'll just kind of go with that for anybody who needs it. I told her she looked amazing and I was proud of her. She is a sweet, sweet lady. Oh,
That's good. Right on.
wonderful.
Right on.
That is wonderful.
It's important to hear that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, knowing that. And, to me, what makes it even more special is when sometimes I feel like people have to listen to me. I'm like, oh, you're my best friend. You have to listen to me. But when it's somebody that is, like a client of yours, and they take an interest in you, like, that is really special, because it's because you care, and it's not just something else. I think that's great.
Needed the witch mug. Love it. I'm double tasking here. Just quiet.
Yeah.
Right on.
They've got the little green cauldron here, bats, everything. So we'll just take it if you need it, leave it if you don't.
Did some big walks today. Well, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Those outdoor walks are a beautiful thing. They can really. Yeah.
So with the silliness that's going on and the astrology thing, according to that, how much longer is the silly season supposed to last?
You mean of everything righting itself, of Pluto being in Aquarius? 15 years.
We've got another 15 years of this mess?
15, yeah. Pluto will be in Aquarius for 15 years.
Great.
It moves it, but after this, it'll go into Pisces. So then that will present its own thing. It will be a little more emotional. But the good news is anytime that a planet moves into a new sign, it's always a little hinky at first, right? It's kind of finding its footing, it's correcting everything, it's bringing things into line. So it will not feel this intense. I mean, we just got done with a full moon and Mercury retrograde, and there's some other things that are kind of lining out weird. But no, but it's 15 years, but it's going to be a much bigger picture. Instead of being in the weeds in the forest, not being able to see everything, you're really going to be seeing everything kind of come together. You're going to see how it fits, where it connects. It's a good opportunity. It's not all doom and gloom. It's a good opportunity to work on your intuition, to find humanitarian things to be a part of. Aquarius is all about being a humanitarian, helping the collective, helping people, getting involved with charities, new ideas. The age of Aquarius is all about coming together, working together, and learning. Aquarius is a sign of like high intellect. So, reading and learning and growing and that kind of thing. And Pluto is the shadow side of things. And so with that, things have to come into light. So there's going to be things coming to light. And if you kind of look, I mean, it sort of has been, there's been a lot of things coming out lately, just in personal lives and across the world that you're like, didn't know that. So, really important time to, if you don't journal already, start journaling, because you'll be able to go back and kind of see, like, not only how you've grown, but what you've worked through and how you worked through it. And even if you're not, into astrology and crystals and that kind of thing, like it still is how the world is progressing right now. So, can help a little bit.
Every time I learn something new, though, it pushes something old out. That's
Yeah.
it's completely
Well,
random what I lose.
And here's the other thing that I think of too, when things get done and you can kind of see why something happened, how it happened, the trajectory of it, then you can kind of put a bow on it, right? You can wrap it up, it's done, and you can take that package and you can move it out of your closet, and then you've got room for new stuff to come in. It doesn't have to stay there, right? So if you think of it as kind of like cleaning up your closet and getting rid of the old clothes and the old shoes so you can go buy new clothes and new shoes or books or cars or whatever. So there's definitely a lot of good to come to it too. It's just always really bumpy at first.
No.
Kind of like getting in
Yeah.
a brand new car that you've never driven, and you have to figure it out. Like if your old car had bad brakes and you're used to mashing on the brake, and you mash on a brake in a good car, you're gonna lurch. If you're used to driving an automatic and you're driving a stick, you're gonna grind the gears a little bit at first, but then you get the hang of it and you get into the groove and then you figure it out. And so that's what we're doing. Got the groove.
I hope
to-
so. I really do.
Couple of thoughts though. Every time I hear put a bow on it, I keep thinking of put lipstick on this pig, and that's the imagery that comes to mind. And second, I kind of get, I get what you're trying to say, but you're what you're saying kind of reminds me of when you'd watch the Weather Channel. The person's pointing to your region and they start smiling. When they smile, when they're pointing to where you live, you're screwed. It's like when the only time the weather people smile is when there's a hurricane or something.
Right. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I am saying that
I
it's going to
like
be
easy.
bumpy.
What's wrong with easy? Easy
Right,
is my middle
right.
name.
Yeah, I have no beef with easy either.
That was, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I was just like, I got the lesson. I got the memo. I got the shirt. I learned the lesson. It's done. Why am I still here? Like, can we just not have difficult for once?
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to that ripple effect. Sometimes we're affected by other people's ripples. The lessons that they're
Yeah.
learning ripple out to us,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you get it. And if you're close to that person who's learning a lesson, that could be some waves, right? If you're kind of further out from that person, it might be a bumpy ripple. So, it's I don't like how it always goes. Don't think that I'm always like, yay, I mean, believe me, I have those moments where I'm like, really? Just really? Again? Why? How come? Trust me.
Okay.
There you go.
So, so you've been missing all these good things that have been said. Pulling a Christie, reframing, finding the learning opportunities, and I have some questions coming up that I'll ask before I go, and some when I go back. Clearing out what in was conditioned, and to think these last 11 years is the second part of it.
Yeah. 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 And I
Yes,
think
always
Rose,
missing Steve is better.
yeah.
Yes, getting
And
better and missing familiar
Rose,
friends, Cosmic and Rebecca. Yeah.
Rose, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so sorry that I missed you the other day. You popped on and Michael was here and I didn't get to see you. And I'm so glad that you're here. And yes, change can be easy if you work with it. I think one of the things that I believe is that the more you resist change, the bigger that change becomes to get your attention to fix it, and it can kind of blow up. And so I always try, if I see something is needing to change or something's headed my way and it's kind of inevitable, I try to brace myself for it and be as compassionate and as understanding and realize that it's happening for a reason. But I will tell you, sometimes I spit into the wind and flip off the tornado and stand there and yell at it before I run and take cover. I kind of feel like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump every once in a while, like, oh yeah, yeah, you're is that all you got? And next thing you know, I've got no legs and I'm in the ocean, and then my husband that I just threw cheese at is, throwing me a lifeline, pulling me in, being like, could you quit being your hobbit self for a while? Might be nice. So, it always works out one way or the other. But, Henny, yes, I love Easy. I just can't find it. I know it must live on Easy Street with the money tree. I swear. I think that's where
And back here, Kristen Melinda had said, if someone threw something at me in an argument, cheese would be one of my top choices right after chocolate.
figured like it's dense enough that it would hurt, but not hard enough that it's going to break a nose, right? Evil thought behind it, which is a little, I mean, God bless America.
And he
Horrible.
says, Ben, it's good to see you. Missed you. Yeah, we did miss you. We notice when you're not here.
I'm just glad I came on for the cheese incident, the great cheese fiasco. That was very informative.
With me, there's always some sort of fiasco. Like, I'm slapping kids at church camp, chucking cheese at my husband, threatening to beat people with turkey legs. I'm
Yeah,
a violent person, but I have these violent stories.
I do like this though because of all the people I've run into. I swear, you're the most. How do I put this? It's restful, and at the same time, it always so wholesome looking. I mean, it remind me of like watching a lifetime Christmas special because you always got this nice background going on. You got the I don't even have a mug, a big mug, and all that. You always look huddled up. You always got sweaters on and things like that. And it's like, holy hell, this this sweet little person throws project throws throws dangerous
Turns
projectiles
cheese
at
into a
people.
projectile.
Yeah. And Henny, yes, I hear your point though. I love Easy too. I was a rock drummer in a bar band. Drummers aren't known for being anything other than easy. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. We
I
don't have
see.
high standards. Yeah.
So it's very good. Henny says, very good, Christy. Didn't think to look on Easy Street. Next stop, Easy Street.
Right? I think it's kind of hidden. But Ben, back to one of my best friends that I mean, we grew up together. She always would say, whenever she'd introduce me, she'd be like, "This is Christy. She looks really sweet and innocent, and she is sweet, but she is not innocent." And and it's funny because there's really a lot about me. I remember, I think it was on the lifeboat. I mentioned I had tattoos, and Tommy was like, "What?" And I've got several, and people are just like, "What? No," because I don't look like my experiences.
Cord that I fixed.
Mhm.
You want to get a cup of coffee, Sean?
My husband's yelling at me.
Please.
Oh,
Do you know that I'm online live, baby?
Yeah, it just doesn't help us get this other stuff done, but it's fine. Go ahead and you can still be live.
Oh, thank you for permission to still be live. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean,
Didn't know I needed that, but I guess you never know what you need until somebody points it out.
permission, I mean.
gonna let you know.
Rose, hey.
Hey, hello.
Yeah,
Hey,
good to
Christy.
see ya.
Yeah,
So glad
I'm
you're
good.
here.
I'm just popping in for 5 minutes before my
Okay.
son's carer turns up to say hello and to
Okay.
let you guys know that I'm actually going down to one of my jewelry courses today. I haven't done it for about a year. So I'm very excited to be getting back into it. Yeah.
Yay!
That is
So
awesome.
awesome. Now
Yeah,
you're
something to put your energy into. That'll be
Oh,
good.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
yay.
like I said, quick because his carer's just turned up. So I'll catch you next time too.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Well, thanks for popping in.
Sure. Good to see you.
Yay. That's
Love
amazing.
that. Love that. That's
So,
awesome.
hello, Cheryl.
Cheryl, hello.
Yes. Yeah, every once in a while we life just has a funny way of being funny, doesn't it?
I would like to thank everybody who gave me thoughts and prayers. Turned out I'd had an MRI, and it kind of explains some things, doesn't explain others. They were supposed to shoot from neck to down there, and they only shot from here down, so they didn't get my lungs so well. But regardless, they found that I no masses in my liver.
Good.
They did find a huge block of iron or glob of iron, and basically my body's not absorbing iron, which is
Okay.
a weird condition. But it explains the liver values being in the toilet. It explains the liver water weight because I've had a problem with water weight for 4 months now. Because I used to be skinny, all of a sudden just boom, and it explains that. So yeah, still got to get the ticker looked at, see if I have myocarditis. But it
Okay.
beats the alternative, which I'm very thankful for. Because I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
for sure it was going to be the C word, and I was like, oh great, here we go.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. Yeah.
No.
So can you eat more spinach or something like that, or will that help? Or
Well, I got to see my doctor. My doctor here is in very high demand. She's very good, but
Mhm.
that comes with the caveat anybody who's really good has a hell of a long waiting list. But I'm seeing
Yeah.
her to see if there's some therapy I can do. I, at this point, I've done chelation for mold and for the
oh,
weed killer. So
okay.
I know
Oh,
you can do
okay.
chelation for it. I know
Okay.
they can bleed you too. So yeah, I'm going to try to approach everything.
Okay.
That you can do some diet stuff, but who knows Yeah, it's from what I gathered, just looking at the diet stuff, it's more of a Mediterranean diet to kick that down. And Mediterranean's not bad. It's just kind of, you want to do keto, you want to do paleo, just go get a burger without the bun.
Right.
Mediterranean's a little harder than that, at least from the recipes I'm looking at. Like, this looks like a major investment time wise. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I
Huh.
I do the Mediterranean diet. I love it actually.
Right
Wow.
But
on.
it, it
Oh,
is
okay.
it's kind of,
It's nothing you
I
can
mean,
easily.
I still eat out and stuff. It is a little bit more expensive because it's like olives and fish and
Oh, okay.
like a lot of
Okay.
vegetables and sun-dried
Yeah.
tomatoes and artichoke
Yum.
hearts and things like that. But I think you can, manage it other ways. It real and like I don't use olive oil, I use avocado oil,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it's not, I mean, it can be difficult to find things depending on where you live. Where
Hmm.
I live, it's kind of difficult sometimes to find some of
Yeah.
that good stuff. But if you find a good like farmer's market or something in the spring and
Yeah.
throughout the summer and do all of that, that can be really good. But I love it.
Mm.
You, so how to make the Mediterranean a little easier? You know what I do is I try to catch stuff when it's on sale. Here it's called Kroger. There's like Kroger, City Market, King Supers, Dillon's. They're all owned by the same thing. They have really good salmon selections. They even have like these little, they're called wild caught kind of bowls that have like rice and salmon and different things in there, and you just cook them in the oven. I think they're like
Mm.
$7 a piece. They're
Mm.
not too bad. One of the things I
That ain't
found
bad.
is sun-dried tomatoes. I just buy them in the jars and I try to get them when they're on sale. Artichoke hearts, it is another really, really good thing. And just kind of seeing what they have in the frozen section. I really like fresh, but frozen can be a really good way to go with like,
Is chickpeas part of Mediterranean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
chickpeas, hummus, stuff like that. One of my favorite things to make is I take cilantro lime rice or jasmine rice, and I will use like salmon or chicken, and I will season it up with a lot of herbs and bake it, and then have the rice, and then I do vegetables, and I do like squash, cherry tomatoes, zucchini, sun-dried tomatoes, purple onions, a lot of like cilantro and stuff like that, and mix it together. So then it's like a protein bowl. So it's rice and then chicken and the vegetables. And then
Mm.
I do just a little bit of avocado cilantro dressing on it. And then my dogs also eat the same. My dogs eat human food. We don't feed them dog food. So whatever I eat, they eat. They eat the Mediterranean diet too. Only don't give your dogs onions. That's bad. Capers is really good, are really good as well. And a lot of it just depends on where you live.
Mm.
Like if you live in a place like, um, well, not Kentucky, like if you live in Fort Collins, Colorado, let's say, you're going to have more options for fresh foods and things
Mm.
like that. And I love to roast the vegetables. I put them in a pan and drizzle avocado oil on them, season them up, put them in the oven and roast them that way, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. That's what I pretty much already do with. I'll tend to do that or with lemon. Do
Hmm.
stuff like that with green beans. I tend to pan fry them. But
Yeah.
that's that makes me feel a little better because I made the only Mediterranean dish I made before this was Mediterranean chicken, and that involved soaking this chicken in this white wine mixture for like 24 hours. It's like, oh hell, I don't have time to
Oh
do
gosh,
this.
no, I don't do anything that complicated.
Uh, that's where I was just tried to do my Bobby Flay kick, and some
Yeah.
dishes worked out, other ones not so much. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel a little better. It's just my big thing. It's been keto and paleo. In a pinch, you can just go to a Yak in the crowd, Jack in the Box, whatever. You can always
Mhm.
get a burger without a bun. There you go.
Right.
You're good. So it's like
Right. Right.
Mediterranean, you can't really do that. I mean, maybe I
Yeah. You
can.
know, and you'll find that just like with the others, you'll find little shortcuts and easy
Okay.
ways kind of do it. And I don't eat a lot of meat,
Mm,
but every once in a while I'll go, like I said, have a burger without the bun or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I
it's
guess
good.
it's doing that, and guess I can go back
Yeah.
to my stupid shakes. Yeah, they were expensive, but oh well.
One thing that really works that's really inexpensive to help control blood sugar and to help boost your metabolism and help control cravings and stuff like that. I do it in the morning when I get up and I do it before bed because part of the leftover part of anorexia is that you starve yourself so much during the day that you have a calorie deficiency. So you wake up in the middle of the night and you binge
Hmm.
because you're trying
Yeah,
to like get
make
those calories.
makes
And
sense.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just like menopause or something. I mean, I'm not
Mm,
trying to be, TMI here, but it turns out that is actually
mm,
part of the mental and physical part of the side effects of anorexia is that
mm,
you will eat really late at night. And like, I mean, sometimes I would go to the fridge and I would just start grabbing stuff and just eat it. I mean, I would eat everything. I would eat donuts and candy and pizza and sandwiches and I would eat for like 10 minutes straight. I would just shove it all in my face and then feel really bad about it. I needed the calories because I hadn't eaten
yeah,
all day, so it's not like, but that's a really unhealthy way to be.
yeah, yeah.
What
With
you can
coffee,
do
yeah,
is take ground flaxseed and you can buy it at the store. It's like
yeah.
$6 for a bag, and you just take 2 tablespoons and make some hot water. Like if you're gonna make, just boil some hot water. Put 2 tablespoons of the um, flaxseed in there, and I do just a little bit of cayenne pepper, just a little.
Mm,
But what it does is
Okay.
it actually has helped me sleep better when I
mm,
take it before nighttime. But what it does is it helps boost your metabolism,
mm.
regulate your blood sugar, help with the cravings, all of that kind of stuff. And then I don't binge at night like I did because that's like
Okay.
super unhealthy.
Well,
Um,
thank you for
listen,
that, because I
we,
have a
we,
lot of that on hand.
we've got
L-
a
Lene Banahan, 4 months. Woohoo! Woohoo!
excited for you.
Mm,
A royal
Oh,
wave and a bow and a
yay,
curtsy.
yay. Lene, I am
That's
just
so
so
good.
unbelievably proud of you.
mm.
I really am. I
That's
know
so
how hard
good.
you worked for your
Yeah.
sobriety, and
Yeah.
that is amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mama's tiara.
yes. Texan equals carnivore.
Lene was wanting to know if there's a book or website for Mediterranean diet.
There's a lot of them out there. I just Googled easy Mediterranean recipes, and there's
Okay.
a lot of them out there, and they're really inexpensive. They're not super complicated, and they're really good. And a lot of it is just, like I said, the avocado oil, grapeseed oil, those are a little bit more expensive. You can definitely do olive oil. But a lot of tomatoes, vegetables. I don't do a lot of bread. I do a lot of rice and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's really good, and it really helps me feel better. And I mean, I did have to lose weight so that I could be healthy. The Mediterranean diet really did help with that. The flaxseed helped with that. I didn't
Mm.
have to do a lot of crazy exercising. Like I wasn't exercising for hours at a time. Um, a little bit of yoga here and there, and that was it. and drinking plenty of water.
Yeah,
That really helps too.
yeah,
But
that is one thing I'm still trying to do is exercise more. I have Epstein-Barr, which is flared up a huge
Ouch.
amount. So yeah, basically attacks the joints. But you know,
Ouch.
it's not as bad as like some people I've heard that have chronic fatigue. But yeah,
mhm,
you achy, all your joints ache, you feel fatigued.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, thank you for the flaxseed because I have buttloads. Yes, I said buttloads of it. Um, and I never use it. You know, I use chia seeds a lot, but yeah, that gives me
Yeah.
go. I can at least
Yeah,
work on
just get
that.
the water hot, put the flaxseed in it and the cayenne pepper. You can do lemon too if you want. Stir it, let it set, get the water really, really hot, like boiling hot. Let it set for 5, 10 minutes, and then you'll drink the water. At the bottom, it'll get a little chunky with the flaxseed. You can put a little more water in it and just ingest all of the flaxseed, which is what I do. Or you can toss it out.
Oh,
But it's really easy, and if you take it before bed, it helps you to not if eating at night is an issue for you, it helps with that, but it also helps me to sleep.
hmm.
Um, so
Full of hope. Hello, full of hope. She
oh,
full of hope uses organic linseeds. Fabulous, she says.
yes.
I don't know what those are.
There's a lot of really good things. I like the flaxseed because I can buy it already milled and ground up. I'll tell you a funny story. I actually broke my God, I'm so violent. I broke my cutting board. It was like one of those thick butcher block ones, and I had a rolling pin, and I had like whole flax seeds, and I had no way to like ground them. Like I didn't have a pencil or anything, so I
Mm.
was whacking them with a rolling pin. I was beating them with a rolling pin. I would put them in a plastic
Wow.
bag and mash them, and I ended up breaking the cutting board. So don't do it that way. You can buy them already ground. I did not know that. Didn't dawn on me to look. I was just whacking across broke it. So
Pup Groomer says, I found out last year I was borderline diabetic / insulin resistant and I had to lose weight. I've lost almost 50 pounds over the
Wow.
last year.
Good for you.
That's good that you didn't just rush to get the pounds
yeah.
off. That's a
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
way to go
Yeah.
yeah. The biggest thing was cut sugar and white foods. That makes
That is
sense.
so
That makes a lot of
hard.
Yeah.
sense. And it is
Yeah.
hard. Hello, Misha.
Mhm.
I drink water, lemon juice, turmeric, ginger,
Mm,
cinnamon,
ginger's
honey,
good.
and hot sauce.
All together, Renee?
Wow.
Do
That's
you
that.
put it
Yeah.
all in a thing? I'm interested. Now I could do water, lemon juice, turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon and honey, but the hot sauce, I'm telling you, y'all, a little bit of cayenne pepper is all I got in me. I am not a chili head. I kind of,
Yeah.
um, what's it? Perimeter. Oh,
So
perimeter. Okay, gotcha.
so who was it that said that they had lost 40 kilograms? Okay, Lene, full of hope. Um, Mr. Tup Groomer at 20 dropped over 40 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds. That's about 88
About 80.
pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
That's
looked
a
it up.
lot. Yeah.
90% of my food comes from perimeter of the store, produce, dairy, meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you know, they were people were making fun of me over Christmas because I went to go buy actual cookies and I didn't even know where they were in the store. So I just, and it was really hard to cut sugar. But that's
Yeah.
the creamer that I drink now is Nut Pods, and it is almond and coconut or oat milk creamer, and it doesn't have it's unsweetened. And it took me a little while to get used to it, but it's only like 5 calories. It's really good for you. It's not sweet. But sugar was a tough thing for me to
yeah.
quit. I
Yeah.
use honey,
Yeah.
if I need to sweeten anything. I
Okay.
really try.
Right on.
Sugar's hard for me. I
Yeah.
tell you what, you've never seen anybody put away a dozen glazed donuts like this chick can put away a dozen glazed donuts. So I mean, I'm telling you, I don't even go near that section in the grocery store. I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, sugar was tough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it is. It is.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
So
I
close.
am fortunate. At least I can do stevia. I'm so thankful for that. 'Cause a lot of
Yeah.
people they can't have stevia; it tastes sour to them.
I
Mhm.
like stevia.
You know, they even have
Yeah.
soda with stevia in it. And I'm really
Yeah.
thankful that at least at a couple of the fast food joints they have carbonated water with
I
a little
love.
bit of little bit of lemon in it. But yeah,
Yeah.
looked at it. There's no what's the national? There's a sweetener called FICO. It begins with a P, and I come to find out that that's kind of hard on your liver. And right now, I want to be as
Mhm.
easy on it
Easy
as
on your
possible.
livers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, because
yeah.
my
Yeah.
I mean, I'm early liver failure. I mean, they're just my A1Cs are in the toilet. So yeah,
Mm,
and they're going to be
ouch.
because you had a big lump of iron. You know that
Mhm.
Okay.
your liver doesn't like that.
Yeah. Wow. I had a oh, I know what I was gonna say. Tomorrow, is, Edie, my dog that got hit by the car, is her vet appointment, so I may be a little late getting the meeting up and going. So just wanted to let everybody know that if I'm late, I don't it's 'cause I'm still at the vet with Edie.
What's her middle name again?
Marie,
Marie. Okay.
poor thing.
Yeah.
She's getting around, so I'm kinda hopeful that it's something that can heal itself, but, I need to find
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's always good to go in and get it.
get it
Get it.
checked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I feel like throwing out to the Awaken Misha says random question I feel like throwing out to the group because I feel like somehow someone here might know.
Okay.
Ask away.
How many licks
If
you
you don't
Yeah.
know,
taking?
we'll just make it up. I'm
Yeah.
teasing.
No. I'm looking
What's
to see if the question's here.
what's the atomic weight of boron 10? No, that's not it.
Okay, let's see. I feel like
I'm waiting
throwing
for the
out to the
question.
group because I feel like somehow someone might know. Okay, well, little Edie Marie, send her hugs from all of us. I will. Bless her heart.
I'm waiting for this question.
I know.
A
Henny,
little
thank you
random
so much
trivia.
for that.
Give me the design.
I, I need to get over the whole thing of not wanting to self promote, but you kind of, you know, I
Hmm.
just need to get over that. So I appreciate you saying that. And if you like what we do here, and you're not subscribed, then it would be appreciated if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, and it'll send you notifications if you hit the little bell button. So I hear. I
Well,
hope she's
and
okay too, Henny. I really do. Like I said, she's getting around. She's moving around, and she got
Hmm.
herself outside yesterday. Today she's just kind of been moving around within the barn and getting back on her bed. And has anyone ever had
Your left rib get hard all of a sudden. You can feel it release and move back to normal.
like
That
sheets? The best way
could
to
be
describe it. Under the left rib, all of a sudden hard. You can feel it finally release and move back to normal.
that could be your
Sheets, the best way to
is
describe
it
it.
like where it gets stuck? Like you feel like your muscle gets stuck in your rib? Because I've had that happen
I've
to
had
me.
that happen
Um,
that's about where your liver left side. That
under the
could be
left rib.
that could be your gut. It could be
Yeah.
your gut was chewing on something.
Full of Hope says, yes, Misha, it's painful. I thought it was my pancreas.
Oh.
Oh,
And did you find out that it was or was not, or? Liver is right. Okay. Full of hope, I hear you. I told Doc I'd do whatever I had to do to stay off meds. He told me he'd give me a few months to see how committed I'd be. I showed him I'd put the work in, I'd put in the work and stayed with it. That's good.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
right on.
Left
Am
or
I
right?
echoing to you guys? Do you
Yeah.
guys hear me echoing?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, no,
Yeah, I
you
was
sound fine.
full of hope. I was trying to think of a nice way to say
Oh,
that.
that could be. Henny says it could be a moving hernia. Um, left under rib is usually, okay, I'm going to say it, fecal matter trying to move, hence linseeds. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Ouch. Well, I hope you can, if it continues, if it persists, I hope you can get it checked out, Misha. Kind of. I can feel it loosen up. It does hurt. More so as I age. Had it for years now. Heard liver and thought I might ask. No WebMD tells me anything.
Yeah, WebMD is fairly notorious for giving you everything being cancer. At one point, I had something in my nose itch, and I thought, well, I'll look on WebMD. Maybe they'll have something. And I was thinking the back of my thick wooden head, they'll probably say cancer. Sure enough, one of the results was cancer. I was like, oh, come on. It was
I,
allergies.
my mom forbids me from going on WebMD. She's like, no.
Right on.
Um,
A lot of health professionals say that. Full of Hope says use a tennis ball to massage, Misha. The liver is the right side, says Full of Hope. Okay.
Wow, them both.
you know, Misha, here, I'm gonna give you a nickel's worth of free advice here because my mom is in the medical field. She's an RN and has been for years. Nowhere in the United States, whether you have insurance or not, can they refuse you if you walk into the ER.
Yeah.
So if it ever gets so bad, because it could be any number of things. I mean, at this point, we're dealing with internal organs, obviously, right? And some of them are really big deals. You know, obviously, you can't have your appendix explode. So if it ever gets too bad, please don't let not having insurance stop you. You can go to the emergency room, tell them you don't have any insurance. By law, they cannot tell you to leave. That is illegal. And then once you get up there and you start being seen, ask for a social worker or someone to come up. They can look and see if they can get you on some sort of program to help. My brother was a ranch cowboy. He broke his collarbone. He had a job and he had a place that, like, he was working at the ranch, but he got on indigent healthcare because he didn't own his own home and he made so little every month that they actually helped him get on insurance. So
Oh.
please don't let
Okay.
the fact that you don't have insurance, you can
Yeah,
absolutely walk,
definitely
whether that's,
ask for a social worker. Yeah.
yes, yeah, just
That's how
they've
my
got to get you
sister-in-law
in.
got finally got her Medicare,
Yeah.
and her benefits. Her
Mhm.
is she had to go to the hospital with something really serious, and the
Mhm.
social worker helped her
Yeah.
through that process, getting all that stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've watched Bradley go through cancer without insurance. I would be better off doing all I can outside the hospital. I've been through
Mhm.
all that, sadly. I'm sorry.
You know, it's
Ugh.
there's so many things that are so frustrating about some of the
That's
things.
one of the bigger ones.
No, it really is. And you know, I just I am, believe me, I am somebody, the last thing I'm going to tell anybody is like, oh, go get a bunch of medications and run to the doctor straight away. I'm very holistic, but I also understand that, there comes times and, please, if you,
Yeah. You,
you know, yeah, full of hope. Flaxseed does the same thing. It helps with your
Yeah.
digestion, I guess, shall we say
Yeah.
it.
Fiber.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, every hospital has to have a social worker.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't think you can run a hospital without that now.
Hmm.
I did get lucky. I used to be in the I have nothing. I'm not saying anything against anybody. I used to be really big into conventional medicine and switching to a what do you call
Homeopathy.
it? Yeah, naturopathic.
Hmm.
My doctor actually, she plays both sides. She will use
Hmm.
conventional medicine, but will try to steer you to dietary changes and things like that.
Hmm.
And turned out a lot of the stuff, I mean, my mother was a bit of a hypochondriac. I inherited that from her. Didn't go to the doctor for years, and I was so afraid, yeah, cancer. Everything that comes up with me, I'm always afraid cancer. Yeah, and I wound up going to the doctor, and yeah, it just turned out every time I've gone so far, it's turned out not to be the case. But yeah, she helped me a great deal with diet. It could be,
Hmm.
you find a doctor, it could be just a dietary change you need.
And
Um,
that's,
Yeah. Yeah.
there are a lot more around. I don't know if there's a lot, where you live. I know here there's a lot of Amish doctors, and they
hmm,
do the homeopathic kind of thing,
really?
and
Okay.
Wow.
oils and stuff like
Interesting.
that. And I'm really lucky. My doctor knows how I feel about medicine, and so I mean, I do the things I need to do, but he's very understanding, and like Ben, like you were saying, guides me toward you know try this, do that. One time he's real funny. One time I pulled my shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, I think you need to go like get some dirt and make a poultice and rub around it." And I was like, "Clay, dude, stop." I know you're messing with me now. He's like, "Go find a dog
Yeah,
to sit in it 3 times." I'm like, "Clay."
I didn't even know there was such a thing as an Amish doctor.
Yeah,
Cool.
neither did I.
Yeah, they're really big around here. We've got a lot of Amish Mennonite communities. But yeah, it's really interesting. They look at your eyes. Like I don't know what they're looking at in your eyes, but they look in your eyes, and then they do this thing where they have you put your arms out like this, and then they'll ask you questions, and they push down on your arm, and like if it goes down, then the answer is yes, and if it doesn't move, the answer is no. And it's not like they're not pushing hard. They just
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Something about your I don't know, your aura, your body, whatever, but I'm telling you, the Amish doctors I have been to are really good. They're expensive and they don't take insurance, but definitely
Did
helped me.
Did you ever smoke?
No.
No. Okay, I was thinking if you smoked or something like that. If you smoke or have a weakness for it, what you can do is you can do that with your friends. Get a pack of cigarettes.
Oh,
In high school, they did with a thing of chew. They'd bring it close to you. Sure enough, you can sit there and be holding a weight, and as it gets closer to you, it'll get weak as they take it away.
really?
It's I've seen it used in mentalism, although I didn't learn
Uh-huh.
that part of it. But yeah, it's really odd.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you think it's not going to work. You're like,
yeah,
you are crazy, and I don't know the logistics behind how
yeah.
or why it works. It just does. It's really um well, hey, I mean, a witch doctor could work too, if that's your if you've got no other option, take an offering. I'm
I'm
teasing.
ultra
I'm
skeptic
teasing.
by nature, says Kristen Melinda, but I am all in favor of whatever works. Yeah,
Mhm.
You,
100%.
Christy, do you do acupuncture?
No, I don't. Here's the funny thing. I love tattoos, and I can watch you tattoo any part of me, but I am terrified of needles. You come at me with needles, and I'm like, no, please.
Okay.
Like when they draw blood, oh man. Whew.
The arm drop
Hmm.
versus arm rigid is freaky weird. I was diagnosed with Candida albicans Amish doctor does the horse help. Is the appointment in the buggy? I'll see myself out.
No, so the ones I went to, I mean, I know you're making a joke, but it was actually in this really cute little house. And I mean, he had the whole beard and the hat and the whole thing and the lady. And I mean, was really nice because I was a woman. He was never alone with me. His wife was always in there, never alone. Really nice. I mean, it was really unlike anything. And I know you're making a joke, but really, it was one of the best experiences with the medical professional that I had. I mean, really just amazing. But I'm kind of into that too. So, I kind of like the weird side.
So
Holistic.
no, Christy, OMG. I watched a video from a counselor a while back that helps with your inner decision process. Super cool. Let me see if I can find the link real quick. Cool.
Be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was-
massage the web area between the finger and
Yeah.
thumb.
yeah, right
It
there.
helps the bowels. Okay. I mean, and that's something you can totally do. This web part right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was there pie? Tell me there was pie at the
There's
Amish
pie.
doctor.
Pecan pie. Yes. Pecan pie. It was amazing. They have their little daughters baking. Like I shouldn't say little. Like they're y'all know I can't bake, right? So I just get completely amazed at anybody who can bake. And these little girls were in there just baking these pies, and I'm like, oh wow, you guys are,
But you cook.
But see, but baking is a science. You have to follow the rules. Like if you don't put in the right amount of flour and
Yeah.
and
Okay.
baking soda, and I don't like rules. So,
You're-
cooking I can just dump stuff together, and if it doesn't work, I don't do it again. But I'm so bad at it. I can't even cut the cookie dough out of the refrigerated cookie kind that you just slice and bake. That doesn't they know I don't like. They don't
You're like
even.
you're like Bobby Flay. You just like dumping in. Oh, this looks good. That looks good. That
I
looks good.
do.
Okay.
I do. Um, Baking is my jam. I'm so like I really wish I could be that person. I'm not. If I ever show up with a cake to your house, no, I bought it.
um, Full of Hope was saying, that she's all about gut health, and I had some kimchi and it made a believer of me. I felt so amazing after, you know, getting a nice little clean
Yeah.
goings on there, and it
Good.
made a real believer out of me. How I had so much energy and I felt so amazing.
Mhm.
And Waken says, full of hope, I will try all that. Thank you. We can talk later too, if you don't mind. So much easier than texting. The bowel thing makes sense though, because I had real issues when I was little.
Mhm.
Aw. Carol, I'm getting ready to make my first recipe cucumber. Okay. Yeah. I'm a pickle girl myself, but yeah, I have a hard time with. I even tried a colonic. I don't know what that is. Perfect, Christy.
Kristen, I'm all for it. Yes, let's do that.
I will bake you things if you'll fold my fitted sheets.
The only reason I know how to fold fitted sheets is because when I was on the road with Michael, I used to trade off. If it was like a mom and pop hotel that we were staying at, I would clean the hotel rooms for them, do housekeeping and stuff like that, and then they would take it off of whatever we owed them for the week.
Okay.
And I had this little old lady teach me how to fold fitted sheets because it was just a wadded mess. And she's like, no, honey, no, no. It's like, okay, teach me. It's the only reason I know why.
Okay, so full of hope says, awakened by the looking glasses reflection, I really believe the pain you are feeling is that kinky part of the large intestine.
Mm.
The kitchen diet to heal my gut. Cheryl Niles. I'm not familiar with what that one is. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant, for some reason, when I click on a comment, sometimes it'll give me this drop down thing and I can't make it go away until I click into the box where I type. And I just blocked somebody and I apologize. I am so sorry. It was not on purpose, I promise. Kimchi, I have heard, but never thought I could try. But it's basically just a Korean cabbage type thing. It's like a fermented thing with cabbage.
Mhm. Hmm.
That just clicked. Okay.
Cheryl was saying the kimchi diet to heal my gut. She typed in the kitchen diet, but I think it was supposed to be kimchi
Oh,
diet.
kimchi. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no,
I see you, Krista
Carol was
Melinda.
talking about on StreamYard, or not StreamYard, the software she uses to,
Restream.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what she's talking about. In there, she's got like a little warning that's blocking the top, I think.
So I see Full of Hope, Awakened. I see One with Cat Shell. I see Krista Melinda. I see One with Cat Shell, Full of Hope. And Huck whispers that it was on purpose. It's there's got to be a better way to do that chat. Me either, Lene says. Kristen says hello, usually spicy. Well, anyways, whoever I blocked, I apologize. I saw that when I was trying to click in the box, it clicked that last option there. I hope. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Kristen Melinda.
Okay, hopefully I can go to. I hope I can figure out how to go in. It says the last thing is add to block list and restream chat. So hopefully I can go in there somewhere. I'll have to get with tech support and see how I can.
List. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, before I do any more damage, should we maybe? What do you think, guys? Think if we had a meeting, call it a meeting?
Yeah. It's been good.
I'm over 30 years now. Lene Banahan, I'm so proud of you. I'm over 30 years now. You are doing great, my heroine. Yes. Everyone type 7 real quick. Process of elimination. Oh, man. Maybe I blocked myself. That would be good if I blocked myself. I wonder what I can do. 777. So we got Christy, Huckleberry, Kristen Melinda, Lene, One with Cats.
Lene. Oh, you already said Lene. Cheryl Niles.
Yeah, she's there.
Let's see what happens when I click on this thing here. No comments will display here. Okay. Well, I'll get hold of tech support and tell them I need to know how to unblock somebody. All right, and I brought the thing up to type them so I won't forget.
No, so that was Misha. She was being difficult. No.
Oh.
No, the 7 was because Carol accidentally blocked somebody, so we just wanted to see
And
who
I don't know
all.
who. It gave me the drop down thing, and I was trying to click in my text box where I can type in a message, and it instead of going into the text block, it clicked the last option, which just said block and restream chat. So, and now I can't make this thing go away, and I can't see anybody's chat. You guys, I'm kind of screwed here. I can't make, oh, here we go. There we go. I think I made it go away. Okay.
Oh,
Woo. Think of you. Thank
Um,
you all so much for the chat. Got to get a much beauty sleep as possible, by the way. How is Steve M? We haven't heard anything for a day or two, or at least has anybody heard anything?
I haven't
Didn't
heard
want to
any.
cause early ending for the meeting. Having a meeting, two, if anybody needing a meeting, it was 2 as in need to dump stuff. 3 is good as in 3 is part of a heart. If that helped. 1 was shell cats.
7-Eleven. Start dropping numbers randomly. 26. No, I think
Love you
we're
too, Misha. 26.
so glad you were here, Misha. So good to see you. That's a very sweet.
42. Hut.
Yeah, no, I think my dogs are set down. Yeah, I think we're good. Did we want to do some 007? Goodwin Lene. Did we want to do some box breathing and a little meditation?
Yeah.
Misha says, planning on calling today, figure I would give it a bit of time for getting readjusted first, but I need me some Steve and Vicky.
Steve and Vicky. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we'll do some box breathing and a little meditation. And call it good. Go ahead and shake it out. Roll your shoulders. Whatever you got to do, kind of get loose a little bit. We'll do 3 of our box breaths and then we'll go into a guided meditation. Go ahead and drop into your heart space, whether that's putting your hand on your heart or envisioning a small version of yourself walking into your heart center and setting down in all of the love that you have there. We're going to go ahead and do 3 box breaths. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and exhale until all of the air is out of your lungs. Go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to imagine that you are standing solid on the ground, feet planted firmly, and that from the bottoms of your feet, roots grow deep into the earth, through the cool grass, through the cold dirt, down to the hot, molten center of the earth. And I want you to come back to the top of your head, and we're going to release all things that are negative that no longer serve us, anything that is there that should not be. We're going to push this down through our body and out through the soles of our feet, through the roots. So starting at the top of your head, clearing away all the negativity, going down to your eyes, down to your mouth, down through your throat, getting rid of all the negative things that you say to yourself or things that you speak out loud about yourself. Down into your heart space, getting rid of anything that no longer serves you, making room for all of the new love and experiences in your life to take place. Down through your shoulders, to your elbows, to your belly button, down through your fingertips, to your hips, down to your knees, pushing all of that negativity and unwanted thoughts down to your ankles and down to the bottoms of your feet. And now all this negativity flows through these roots down into the hot molten center where it gets burned up, never to be seen again. Feeling yourself feeling lighter, you now pull the energy and nutrients from the earth up through the roots. All of the positivity, grounding, love, hope, and joy coming up through the roots, through the bottoms of your feet, to your ankles, up to your knees, replacing all of that negativity with positive, encouraging energy, love, and light, up to your belly button, through your fingertips, to your elbows, to your shoulders, and into your heart space, where we fill your heart space with all of the love, confidence, guidance, and assurance, replacing all of the negativity that you just cleared up, to your shoulders, to your throat, to your eyes, and out the top of your head. And I want you to imagine that a beautiful golden light surrounding your body in love, confidence, joy, silliness, and happiness. Take a moment to let this soak in to your heart and your energy. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Very cool. All right. What, Ben, it looked like you were a preacher at
Preacher at a
revival.
revival just now. And coming to pray for me. Such imagery doesn't help. I have had hallucinations pretty heavy today. Oh, Misha.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
ouch. That sounds scary.
Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully the hallucinations stop for you soon.
How the heck
Mm.
did I think that was fun? LOL. Yeah. To think I used to take this stuff to induce this crap. How the heck did I think that this was fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Habit healing. I'll have to do a habit
Yeah.
meditation one day. Take everybody through the Shire. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. It was so good to see you. And I will catch you tomorrow.
Good to
Thanks,
see you.
Christy.
Yeah, love you all.
Love you too. Well, I hope you are on the mend, Ben.
Yeah, yeah. Just got to get my ticker looked at and
Okay.
see what's up with that, and hopefully it's nothing major.
Right on. I hope so
But
too.
yeah, it's always scary when you get blood test results that are indicating something.
Something. Yeah. Yeah, that would be
so,
scary.
Yeah, especially when you get it twice, and yeah, second time comes back stronger. But I'm hoping the iron thing explains it.
Yeah. I hope so too.
We'll find out. Find out when we talk to somebody who knows a little bit more about medicine than I do. But I do hope I do hope you're able to behave.
Eh. Behaving's overrated, I think.
Take care and have yourself.
You too, Ben.
Bye.
You guys, thank you so much for another great meeting. I appreciate you being here. You guys make this community an amazing place to be. Even just talk about anything. Need a meeting, talk about anything. I have that in the description now. I love that we can do that, and I love you guys for being that community for me and for others. And I hope to see you next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.